Today, we are going to be doing a couple of different things. So we're going to start off first by identifying our guiding question. Can I have a volunteer read aloud our guiding question for the lesson for today? Taryn.
What makes a material a good or poor choice for a particular task?
Very good. So we're going to be investigating that a little bit later on this morning. I want us today to kind of wrap our minds around thinking like a materials engineer. For the rest of the week, you are going to be kind of like little miniature materials engineers. So we have to get our minds around that concept and really get into that frame of mind, okay? So with that being said, the first object I want to show you, I want us to talk a little bit about this t-shirt and the materials that this t-shirt is made of. What material is this object made of? Marilyn?
Cloth.
Cloth. Very good. Excellent. And what are some properties of the material called cloth? What can you tell me about cloth? Yes?
Soft.
Very good. What else?
Sometimes it could be floppy.
Floppy, okay.
Smooth.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think that this material, cloth, was a good material to use for making this t-shirt?
Yes.
And why?
Because if you pick something hard and you put it on, you can't move your bones. You'll be like frozen.
Oh, wow. And one more person, Caitlin.
If it was like hard and like bumpy, how would it be washed? Because it might even break the washing machine.
Okay, wow, interesting. Thank you. So what if this t-shirt were made from a different material? Let's say maybe it was made from glass. Okay, tell me about that. Joey?
What if like you were running, you fell, and you would have fell it and hit the shirt, and the shirt would have bust, and you would have been cut.
Ooh, that would be terrible, right? What do you say, Taryn?
When you put it on, you wouldn't be able to move your arms either.
You kind of be constricted, right? Yeah, walking kind of like in a robotic movement. So can we agree and say that glass probably would not be a good material for making a t-shirt? Yeah. That's very apparent. Glass would not be a good material to use to make a t-shirt. So we have to think kind of what are the good choices and maybe the poor choices when we are creating a new object. Today we're going to be investigating how different materials are used to design new technologies, and I'm going to explain a little bit exactly what I mean by that. Here are the directions for the task at hand. It says decide whether or not the materials below would be good to use to keep warm. Draw pictures of objects you could make using the material to help you keep warm and answer the questions below. So we're going to first start off, and remember our task is keeping warm. We're trying to determine if certain materials are good choices for helping to keep us warm. So first we're going to start off here with straw, okay? This is the straw right here, okay? Everybody see? What could we take this straw, this material, what could we take it and turn it into in order to create something that will keep us warm?
You can turn straw into a giant straw blanket.
A straw blanket, okay, all right. So maybe something like this.
If you have clothes on, you can stick it in your clothes.
You could stick it inside of your clothes. Okay. All right. So here we go. All right. So now let's ask the very important question. Is straw a good material for keeping warm? Why or why not?
I think that it's not because like it would keep you warm for a little bit, but it wouldn't stay that way.
And why do you feel that way?
Because straw is string, and it won't be able to lock in the warmness because it'll probably air out.
Okay. Wow.
I said it is because when you put it on, you can like sew it into stuff so there won't be any holes, and then you could make like a blanket or a house.
Isn't that interesting? Right now we've talked about two different things. We've talked about the fact that straw could be a good material for using to keep warm, but then we're also saying that straw, because it's so light and because it's so stringy, it's not going to be able to keep us warm. So that's very interesting. There are good reasons that straw can be used to keep us warm, and there are also maybe some poor reasons as well. So you will be partnering up and you will be given a task. The first task has you working again as a materials engineer. Your task is cleaning the floor. So if you are given this sheet, this is what you will have to do. you will have to decide whether or not the materials below would be good to use for cleaning the floor. The next task or problem that another group or another couple of groups will have to solve is sitting. This task says, decide whether or not the materials below would be good to use to sit on. So again, your 4 materials are the cloth, the straw, the brick, and the pieces of paper, okay? The very last problem is carrying eggs. You may go ahead now.
You can use straw to make a straw basket to carry the eggs in. Who cares? We can fold the paper like this, and then we put the eggs inside. We're gonna go fill up. We can use straw to make it like a basket. Like I'm gonna draw the basket. See this? Let's draw the eggs inside, but we have to do the tubes. Ooh, let's make a straw pillow. Oh. We're gonna like make it like straw, like a straw nest, and put the eggs in there. Paper is not a strong material. So like if you try to make a chair out of it, if you sit in it, you're gonna just get sticky. It's gonna squash.
All right, and time is up. Go ahead and put your pencils down, boys and girls, and I'm going to be collecting some data this morning from the work that you've been doing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a check mark in the box if you all think the material would be a good choice to complete whatever task you were assigned. At the end, I'm going to put a star in the box for the material that we think is the best choice to complete the task. Now, which one did this class agree was the best material for keeping warm? Yes, Brianna?
Cloth.
Okay, you all decided that cloth was. Okay, and I'll put the star there. All right, so now let's go on to the carrying eggs crew. Out of the 2 choices that you felt were good choices for completing the task, which one did you think was the best?
I say paper.
You say paper. All right, so we've got paper. Now let's go ahead and go with the group that had to figure out the task of using materials to create something to sit on. Which material did you think was the best for using to create something to sit on? Joey.
The cloth.
Okay, very good. What do you notice? One?
When I see straw and brick, there were no stars in it.
Thank you. Anything else that you notice?
There's like more size for cloth, and
So what does that tell you, Marilyn?
like the cloth is the most successful.
The most successful, right. You all feel that cloth is a material that is useful for a lot of different things. All right, so let's go back to our original question from this morning.
What makes a material a good or poor choice for a particular task?
Okay, so who thinks that they can answer that question?
It depends on what you use how you use it to make it a poor or good choice.
Thank you so much. All right, guys, so what I'd like for you to do is I want you to go back to your original seat.
I think the most important part of lesson 2 was number 1, allowing them to see how different materials can be used for different things. I think the biggest thing that stood out to my students was, wow, we have a material like a brick, and a brick is so strong, and you would think that it could apply and be used for all types of things. But in the case of carrying an egg, how reasonable would it be to carry an egg in a brick? And by being able to test, feel them, and manipulate the materials, and they realize, okay, we have this delicate egg, we need to select a delicate material in order to be able to carry it. And they were able to make that connection between how material can have great properties and sometimes not have such great properties depending upon what that object is.